Hi, Jill Hope here with I Shine Wealth and Unleash Your Inner Wealth. And today I want to talk to you about how to keep your energy high when the money's not showing up. So, why is it important to keep your energy high when the money's not showing up? And what exactly does this all mean? Well, everything is energy. If we look at anything at its core, it is energy. It doesn't matter if it's a physical thing or if it's money or even if it's our thoughts. All of that is energy. And what happens is when you get a desire, when you feel a desire in your heart, you are connecting with an energy. You're connecting with the energy of that thing. It has a certain vibrational frequency. So you are raised in your energy to resonate with that thing. You are on the same energy. That thing is actually in your energy field. In fact, you would not even be able to recognize that that's something that you want if it wasn't already in your energetic field, which is actually a pretty exciting thought. What happens with so many people, and this is one of the biggest things that my clients struggle with that I support them on, is that when they're trying to create something that they want. Now, we talk about money on this channel. However, to be honest with you, it's never really about the money, is it? It's really about the thing that we think money will get us. So, whatever that thing is, whether it's money to get something that you want, or a certain position that you're going for, or even if it's that you want to feel inner peace. When you start to, first of all, decide that that's what you want, and you commit to having it, and you follow the opportunities that show up, and you take the actions that are in front of you, and you say yes, 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 yes. And if it's not showing up, what happens to so many people is their energy starts to go down, meaning their vibrational frequency starts to go down. And when this happens, you are no longer in resonance with that thing that you want. And it's sort of like your train that was on the train tracks going to the thing that I want station suddenly gets derailed and you're no longer on that track. And so what so many people do, and what you really want to avoid doing, is when you start to feel your energy sinking, you start to get discouraged, you start to have some disappointment, you start to feel a little bit down, maybe you get frustrated, maybe you get angry, maybe you get burnt out, maybe you get exhausted. All of these things tell you that your energy is going down, that you're moving off the track, that you're no longer in resonance with the thing that you want. If you stay there in that place, well, you're not going to get the thing, because the thing vibrates at a different level. It's up here, you're down here. Okay? They don't live in the same place. Okay? So we get stuck off the track. We get stuck feeling like crap, right? And if we don't move ourselves out of that, the frustration builds, the anger might build. It's a downward spiral that does not take you where you want to go. So when you're in that situation where you feel like you're doing all the things and it just hasn't shown up yet, and you start to feel your energy sink, what can you do? This is where I recommend that you put something in place, and that you see it every day, that you put it up where you can see it, of what are those things that make you feel good. You want to have a list of go-to things to tap into and to do so that you can start to feel better and get back to the level where that thing that you want is at. You want to be on the same vibrational frequency as that thing. Because when you are in resonance with something, think about this for a minute. When you're in resonance with something, you are accessing ideas that are of that same vibrational frequency. You are accessing opportunities that are of that same vibrational frequency. The way to have that thing in your life is at the same vibrational frequency. So that's why people say, if there's something that you want to visualize it, you want to feel it, you want to feel those feelings as if you're experiencing that thing right now. Why do people suggest that? Why do people recommend that? Because that lifts your vibrational frequency to be at the same place as that thing so that you can access the way to create that thing. You have access to it. When you start to go down in your energy, when you start to get discouraged, it's sort of like you go like this, right? Kind of like, a flower that hasn't had water for a couple of days and it sort of, shrinks down. That's what happens to you when your energy goes down. Your posture may even go like that a little bit. You think of someone who's down, they're sort of like this. They're not like this. They're like this. You go into contraction. Contraction is a state that is the opposite of growth. It's sort of the state of closing up, getting smaller, shrinking, dying. The things that you want cannot be accessed through contraction, through a contracted state. You want to be in an expanded state, in a state of growth, in a state of more life, in a state of expansion in order to access it. Okay. So how do we get there? As I was saying, you need tools, you need a strategy to start to feel better. So think for a minute, what are those things that make you feel good when you do them? It might be going for a walk in nature. If you have a dog or a cat, it might be going and petting your dog or cat, playing with them. Maybe it's looking at old pictures that bring back memories that bring you a lot of joy. For me, it's playing music is one of my strategies. I cannot not feel open and happy and joyful when I listen to a song that I love. It just shifts my whole vibrational state. For my son, I worked with him on this when he was younger. Going out and shooting hoops really lifted his energy. Going and taking a hot shower lifted his energy. So what is it for you? What are your things that when you do them, it helps you to feel more open, more expanded, and more joyful? Because when you're feeling in that place of it's not happening and the frustration sets in, you definitely want to acknowledge that. I mean, don't make yourself wrong for feeling that way. You're feeling that way. It's a reality. You want to acknowledge it. So be present to it. Say, yes, I'm feeling frustrated right now. I'm doing all this stuff and it's not happening, or it hasn't happened yet. And it's frustrating because I don't know why it's not showing up for me. Okay, great. Presence that. Share that. Hear yourself. Witness that. Acknowledge it. But then you don't want to stay there. And actually, when you can acknowledge that and you can really feel it, it very soon dissipates on its own. That the acknowledgement is enough to allow those feelings to just sort of move through your body and out. And you can help yourself along by acknowledging, feeling it, and then making a decision that, okay, I'm ready to feel more expanded. I want to feel good again. And then you go look at your list. Ah, that's right. I'm going to go ahead and put that song on and I'm going to dance a little bit. Or I'm going to go out for a brisk walk. Or I'm going to go get my fluffy dog and roll around and play with my dog because that makes me feel good. Now, the reason why I suggest that you make this an actual list and that you put it up where you can see it, you might even want to make multiple copies and put it in a few places in your home where you spend a lot of time so you see it. The reason why that's so important, rather than just coming up with something in the moment, is because when you are in a contracted state, I mean, think about this. When you're in a contracted state and your vibration goes down and your frequency goes down, now you're accessing a different level of thinking. You're not accessing this level of thinking. It's lower level thinking. It's thinking of a person who's frustrated and upset. It's not expanded thinking. So when you're down there in your thinking, you're not necessarily going to even think about, oh yeah, I need to go see my dog right now. It's not a thought that lives down here. That's a much higher vibrational thought. But if you have it listed there as a cue, so you see it and you're like, oh yeah, I need to do that. I need to pick one of those things. Sometimes it just gives you enough support to be able to go and recognize it there and say, yes, that's what I need to do right now. Okay. When I coach with my clients, that's what I do for them. I'm able to remind them and suggest and help them come up with those things. But you can just as easily have a list there for you. So then you pick one of those things and you start to do it. And what you notice is as you start to do that thing, you go from this state to this state. You can breathe better here. You're more open, you're expanded, you are in expansion. And from here, this, your energy is lifted. This is where you're going to get a different level of thinking. This is where you're going to see different opportunities than when you're down here. This is where you are going to be vibing with things that are going to get you that thing that you want. Because that thing that you want at that certain vibrational frequency that you can feel when you tap into that, you can feel it in your heart, almost like you can reach out and grab it, where that exists in this vibrational universe, the way to bring it to you exists in that same place, at that same frequency. That's the really great thing. So as you lift yourself back up to that frequency again, start to feel better, you start accessing those ideas that are going to move you closer to it. Okay. And then your train gets back on the track to the station you want to go to. And it really is that simple. You just keep putting your train back on the tracks, put your train back on the tracks, and you're eventually going to get there. So I hope this has been helpful. If you go through those times, and we all do, where our thinking starts to go down, we start to get discouraged because it's not happening. And I hope this has given you some ideas and some thoughts and a way to get back on track so that you can get to your destination. So a couple things that you might want to know about that I'm doing right now that are kind of cool. First, I am offering this free 6-week coaching series. Yes, free coaching. Can you believe it? I'm having so much fun. It's called Intuitive Money Messages. And what it is I spend the first 20 to 30 minutes just sharing a message about money, wealth building, and it all comes from an intuitive place. So I never know from week to week what I'm going to share. And so it's been really fun and for all of us that have been there to see what the message is. And then the other half of the call is where we open it up for Q&A and coaching. So I can do some laser coaching with our live attendees. But if you can't be there live, there's also still a recording that you can access to hear that call's message. We're halfway through the program right now. Week 4 is going to be starting up again on November 5th. We've got a break this week so that people can integrate and go back and listen to any replays that they missed. So you haven't missed anything. You can catch up on all the replays. Just go ahead and sign up below, and you'll get links to the future calls as well as replay links to the old calls. Okay, that's Intuitive Money Messages. It's at iShineWealth/money coaching. The other thing I'm doing is, if you know that there's something you really want, you've been working toward it, and you just don't seem to be able to manifest it, it's not happening in your life, then I highly recommend that you book a money freedom clarity call with me. And what that can do is we can take a look at what it is you want, and I'll ask you some questions, and we'll get to the bottom of what is getting in the way of you having that. And if I think I can help you beyond that call, I will let you know what that looks like. So to sign up for one of those free calls, there's just a short few questions that I ask you to get to know you a little bit better before the call. You can access that at ishinekids.com/money clarity. So I hope this has been helpful. Thank you so much for being here. Please do like the video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And would you please share this message with other people that you think this could help and uplift? I'm really trying to reach as many people as I can who want support to get what they want, because honestly, you deserve to have everything that your heart desires. There is a way to make it happen, and I want to help you. So until our next video, take care, be well.